Dear chosen from God, I am Gabriel, the responsible for the channel, The Awakening of the Chosen. Today, I come to talk about a really important subject to your spiritual growth, the hidden truth about your spiritual heritage. This video is not just one more, but a special call for you to rediscover your genuine essence and the wisdom you gathered during your trajectory through the universe. Our meeting today has great potential. I promise you that the knowledge you will find here is a powerful key, capable of transforming your life and guiding it toward the enlightenment of the true chosen. Disregarding this message is like ignoring a unique and special chance of renewal and growth that God has prepared especially for you. It is more than just a choice. That's what really calls you. Think for a moment that disregard this knowledge is like rejecting a clear message from God in the midst of the chaos of material life. This is exactly what this video brings, a valuable spiritual basis that you can't let go blank. With every step we take together, you will realize the greatness of this error. Just as a kind reminder, allow your light to shine, to reaffirm your commitment to the divine path. This simple act, which seems so spontaneous and natural, represents its acceptance of this message as a part of its spiritual path. It is in this gesture that is the recognition of the truth that God puts in your heart. In interacting with the message with each step, imagine that each like is a form of tribute to the divine whisper present in this content. It is as if the universe is recognizing its will to receive each word, understanding that what has been hidden now is coming back to you, which is chosen. Find out, my chosen dear, that the urgency is true. Giving up this way before it comes to an end would be like closing the door to a divine answer that has already been achieved. Do not let this opportunity pass. It is singular, and every second is fundamental to its transformation and conquest. To end this introduction reflective, consider what may represent the phrase, "The kingdom of God is within you." This is not just a Bible verse. It is a significant reminder that all the wealth and power you want are not out of you, but within your being, waiting to be rediscovered. We are starting a new journey. Get ready to hear and absorb each discovery along this path of spiritual rediscovery, where true essence returns to create and manifest the miracle that is intended to happen. Beloved of God, today we have the invitation to deepen the powerful revelation of His spiritual heritage, something that goes beyond a simple concept, but it is a solid truth that supports its journey toward the divine. This is not a subject that fades quickly. It is the solid basis on which its spiritual evolution must be built. This knowledge reveals itself as a force capable of transforming, as a prism that refracts the divine light towards His soul, illuminating every dark corner and bringing to the surface the brightness of the truth that has always been His own. With the firmness and understanding that only the time dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge can bring, I tell you that the path we are going through is extremely urgent. By ignoring this message, you end up condemning yourself to an endless cycle of stagnation, remaining a prisoner of ignorance about who you really are. This phenomenon is not just one more element in the puzzle of spirituality. In fact, it is the very base that binds us to what is sublime. I promise you, my chosen dear, that by understanding and assimilating the depth of this phenomenon, you will have a true transformation in your spiritual journey. It will be like opening your eyes for the first time and contemplating all the splendor that the universe has been waiting to eagerly reveal. This is a clear call, a spiritual alarm that echoes through the universe, motivating each of us to wake up to our true divine essence. Let us then reflect on the responsibility we have in our hands. Every moment that goes without you recognizing and responding to this call is a chance to align with the fate that God has planned for you. Disregarding this sign is closing the ears to the voice of the Creator who softly speaks to his heart. I want to invite you to stop a moment and think about your life, about the ups and downs you have already faced. The challenges you faced and the achievements you celebrated are only important points of a journey that leads you back to your spiritual heritage. This discovery is not just one of several options. In fact, it is a necessity for those who want to break free from the ties of the material world and achieve the freedom of the soul. We can see this phenomenon as a key that opens the doors of perception we have for a long time, enabling you to experience the true essence of what it really is to be a chosen from God. Dip from this perspective. Imagine every part of your being filled with this radiant truth, capable of transforming and redefining everything you have ever known about yourself. This is the promise. This is our destination. Get ready to welcome your true essence. Dear chosen from God, we will delve deeper into the understanding of His spiritual heritage, which goes beyond a mere concept. It is a deep expression of its true divine essence. This spiritual inheritance is not something fleeting or misleading. It is the foundation itself that supports its trajectory towards the sublime. This knowledge is a powerful force, similar to the river of life that flows from the throne of God, always ready to feed and clean your soul. With the experience we have accumulated over the years, it is essential to recognize that the path we are traveling cannot be postponed. Disregarding the urgency of this message is to allow you to get stuck in stagnation cycles that drain the divine potential within you. By recognizing and integrating this spiritual heritage, you will reach a new level of life, where the truth slides gently, as well as the honey of the promised fields. To understand the true essence of this inheritance, it is enough to think about how the prophets experienced the divine visions, like Isaiah before the majestic call of the Lord, or Daniel when receiving the revelations that transformed nations. It is like an awakening, an opening of the eyes of the soul to a reality that goes beyond what is evident, a reflection of the divine brightness we all have within us. To understand the strength of this inheritance, imagine it as a sacred flame that, when lit in your heart, illuminates every dark corner and dissipates all uncertainties. Just as the Apostle Peter manifested himself with courage in Pentecost, we summon this flame to awaken from spiritual sleep, to break currents and open doors that were once closed. I can say that it has passed the time to stand still and inert. The universe is asking for its immediate awakening. See every moment as a gift, every breath as a chance to reconnect with the infinite love of the Creator. Let us remember the divine call that invites us to dive into the depths of our being, to listen to the whisper of eternity that dwells in our hearts, and letting each cell of our being vibrates with the heavenly song that attracts us to a light full of light and truth. The time has come to allow your spirit alcee flight on the wings of spiritual freedom, intended for true warriors of light who understand that each lesson learned in the past is only the beginning of the wonders that are coming on the horizon. God's hand is extended, bringing this sacred gift. You, dear chosen, are invited not only to receive this gift, but to value your inheritance with courage, aware that the time has come to answer this call with open heart and firm steps. Dear chosen, as we further explore the concept of its spiritual heritage, we note that it is not only connected to the physical and emotional plane, but actually represents a triple cord of wisdom that extends from the spirit to the real world. This transition, this deep awakening, is as magnificent as the dawn of a new day, when the light is gradually dissipating the shadows of the night, bringing clarity and renewal to the soul of God's true chosen. As you go through this path, the phenomenon of awakening becomes stronger over time, becoming a state of balance as safe and firm as the rock where Jesus said, "About this stone I will build my church." Matthew 16:18. This balance is like fertile soil, where the seeds of spiritual gifts can germinate, and it is through it that each chosen realizes that it is there not only to live, but to share the divine truth that carries within itself. Imagine for a moment the heart of the true chosen as a chalice full of divine wisdom. As this cup fills with spiritual understanding, it not only transforms what is within it, but also changes everything around it, as well as a stone that is thrown into a serene lake. The waves of spiritual transformation spread, reaching other people and raising all God's creation. Therefore, this stage of awakening us not only asks us that we accept, but that we commit ourselves firmly to self-knowledge. For in his absence, the path becomes hazy and stagnation becomes a constant reality. The words of Proverbs 25, verse 2, resonate in our hearts. God's glory is to hide a subject, but the honor of kings is to seek it. Whether the king or queen of your own spiritual journey, brave in exploring the mysteries God has kept especially for you to explore, I am here to encourage you to have the courage that this moment asks for. Question your beliefs, reflect on your experiences, and put yourself to the test to incorporate every teaching that the past has brought you. This is the path of the true spiritual warrior, the one who not only walks in search of answers, but also rejoices with the continuous growth of the soul. We cannot let the details of this revelation escape us. Not integrating each part of this truth is to risk being stuck in a cycle of spiritual imbalance and mediocrity, a limitation that your precious spirit does not deserve to carry. By revealing these layers of knowledge, you will find yourself at a decisive moment, a key stage in the trajectory of the transforming potential that is exclusive to God's chosen ones. With every insight I share, dear chosen, I hope you can imagine the transformation that is on its way, as if it were a magical tapestry slowly unraveling, each thread, each line meticulously intertwined to create a divine purpose. This is the path that comes to you, and you are not only intended to tread you, but to make you brighter with each step. We will encourage your spiritual journey together, understanding that now is the time to welcome your entire divine potential. Dear God's chosen, by exploring the essence of his spiritual heritage more deeply, it is important to understand how the physical, emotional, and spiritual dimensions intertwine, creating the rich tapestry of his journey. Visualize each of these elements like Daniel's 3 friends, who, united, faced the flame furnace. Alone could seem vulnerable, but together they become strong and are under divine protection. Daniel 3. Spiritual awakening does not happen as a unique event, but as a process that extends over time, as well as the growth of a tree. In the beginning, the seed of awakening is sown silently and discreetly in the depths of the ground. However, over time, and the nutrients present in the fertile soil of your spirit, this seed begins to emerge from the surface, seeking light as a symbol of self, knowledge, and constant evolution. It is through this process that you begin to experience significant internal changes. In the physical aspect, you can see a new energy, a renewed mood that is reflected in your body. Emotionally, you will find extraordinary peace and clarity, similar to the tranquility that comes after a storm, which will allow you to see the world more smoothly. In the spiritual aspect, a new connection with the divine, similar to that of Moses, arises, which had his face illuminated after dialogue with God in Sinai. Understanding these transitions is critical. It is not only to avoid stagnation, but also to ensure that each experienced experience becomes a solid foundation in building its path. Like Joseph, who, when considering his trajectory, realized that each challenge was part of the divine plan. His ability to recognize and accept these moments can become a source of orientation during periods of uncertainty. Allow me to challenge you, therefore, not only to understand, but to really experience these transformations. Ask yourself, reflect on your challenges, and value how much you grew up with each one. In the end, this is the journey of spiritual warriors, seeing each experience as a precious learning that connects them even more to the sacred. Now is the time for you to commit, not to neglect or forget your spiritual heritage. The moment is this. The need is clear. To choose not to recognize the depth of this change is to allow you to get stuck in a place where you should never be. Stuck with past errors and insecurities that no longer make sense. To exploit these layers of wisdom is to release a potential that only God's chosen ones can access. Visualize the greatness of what is coming and realize the bright path that is already being shaped under your feet. This is your special journey, and you were chosen to advance with courage and confidence. Selected by God, as we exploit the mechanisms and processes that drive the deep transformation of awakening, visualize a sacred dance where each step and each movement collaborates to create a new state of harmony, a harmony as divine as the constellations that adorn the skies. Just as it is written in Scripture that God has placed order in the universe, Isaiah 45:18, it is important to understand that the mechanisms that govern his evolution are not mere coincidences or randomness, but the eternal laws that support the structure cosmic of life. Each dimension, physical, emotional, and spiritual, intertwines like a harmonious triad, forming the basis that sustains the way to the true integration of the transformative experience of those who were chosen by God. In the physical aspect, his body adapts to new energies, becoming more resilient and full of vitality to embrace this new consciousness. In the emotional aspect, the ghosts of the past dissipate like the mist under the sunlight, creating space for serenity and the unconditional love we nourish in our soul. In the spiritual aspect, an increasingly intense connection with the divine illuminates his journey and his sacred purposes, directing each of his actions with a heavenly wisdom. Let's use the strong analogy present in the Apostle Paul's metamorphosis, which made the transition from darkness to light, moving from persecutor to apostle. Acts 9:3-4. Like Paul, in understanding these processes, you will be able to get rid of the ties of doubt and fear, becoming a lighthouse of light and truth in this world. Stay firm and righteous, dear chosen, for ignoring these mechanisms is being carried away by a tangle of chaos and spiritual mediocrity. As Solomon wisely stated, wisdom is a tree of life for those who embrace it. Proverbs 3:18. Only by understanding and mastering these processes will you be able to direct and channel your divine energy to achieve a lasting balance, which is an essential basis for true evolution. Right now, I want to invite you to see this knowledge as the food that sustains your soul. Each insight we absorb, it goes beyond simple lighting. It is a significant advance for those who are chosen, allowing to overcome the barriers of uncertainty and advance without fear towards the spiritual fullness that awaits us. Imagine, then, this dynamic of transformation, like a river that runs continuously and smoothly. Through it, not only flow, but navigate with unshakable confidence, thriving in each chain and merging me with the vast potential ocean that is its destiny as God's chosen. We are side by side on this journey, exploring the waters of knowledge and kindness towards a new and radiant morning. Dear chosen from God, the time has come to understand in depth the mechanisms and processes that govern the wonderful transformations of spiritual awakening. Imagine, if you can, this transformation as the development of a great plan elaborated by the universe. Each note is touched perfectly, as the angelic melody of a heavenly corner that connects us to the divine. As these significant changes begin to appear, a new balance arises. In the physical aspect, his body begins to vibrate in harmony with a higher spiritual frequency, strengthening and renewing himself, becoming a true receptacle of divine essence. This transformation begins in cells, giving energy to your movements and enabling you to move with the lightness that characterizes those who have already experienced enlightenment. Emotions can give you an extraordinary strength to convert moments of agitation to serenity, just as Jesus did by calming the stormy waters only with his voice. The heart begins to beat, not only for itself, but in harmony with the heart of the universe, bringing to its days a confident tranquility. Spiritually, the transformation is even more impressive. You start to increasingly notice your direct connection with the Creator, experiencing the unity that Jesus mentioned by stating, "I and the Father are one." John 10:30. This spiritual path, which may seem unlikely and full of mysteries, is not a mere chance, but a reality that shows the divine intention to your life. To ignore the urgency of these mechanisms is to choose to remain paralyzed. If this process is ignored, there is a danger of losing itself amid chaos and mediocrity, continuing hostage to destructive and harmful patterns that drive away the person from the spiritual fullness they are designed to achieve. In the end, the essence of spiritual discipline was sublimely synthesized when we received the advice. Therefore, perfect your heavenly Father is perfect. Matthew 5:48. The invitation I make to you is to realize the relevance of each of these processes. Commit to knowing and dominating them, allowing them to guide their growth. With every insight you assimilate, an illusion veil crumbles, allowing you to exceed barriers and determine with determination, in search of freedom and wisdom, that God's true chosen have the right to enjoy. Deliver to this search with determination, with the soul and heart open. This is not just a step towards a temporary change, but a journey to life in order to make the grand divine plan that has been prepared for you while you enjoy every wisdom jewel that has been promised to you. Now we invite the Spirit to deepen further in this immense ocean of divine wisdom, focusing on the daily application of the truths that have been revealed to us. Imagine that just as Moses climbed Mount Sinai to receive the boards of the law and returned transformed, with the face shining, you can also get out of this experience with a light that illuminates all around you. Think of Joseph, a striking figure of the Scriptures, who, even having been sold as a slave, never failed to believe. Every difficulty Joseph encountered was a phase of his transformation, such as a brute refining furnace. In Genesis 50:20, it is written, "You planned evil against me, but God has turned it into well, This is a clear example of how spiritual awakening can turn challenges into achievements, allowing the chosen person, even in the face of difficulties, reach their true divine vocation. The teachings of Jesus during their time on earth still echo in a powerful way in our lives today. In John 14:6, it is written, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." His journey of awakening him from shadows to the light of divine truth, presenting not only a clear way, but also the promise of an important role in God's grand plan. By getting involved and experiencing these spiritual experiences, you will realize deep effects within yourself and how it relates to the world around you. Yes, it is not just a change of perspective. It is a true spiritual renaissance, a new way of living that transforms their relationships, imbuing them with empathy, love, and divine wisdom. With each step taken, his presence becomes a glow, motivating the people around him to explore the spiritual depth that can exist on this sacred path. As you visualize this transformed reality, I would like to invite you to divide your own life experiences in the comments below. Once upon a time, there was a young man named Lucas who had always had difficulty focusing on his studies. He often felt overwhelmed and unmotivated, especially when he saw his friends achieving his academic goals. One day, in a conversation with his grandmother, he vented about his frustrations. She, with a quiet wisdom, told her about a time when she had to take care of a small garden. At first, the plants didn't grow well, and she almost gave up. But with patience and dedication, she learned to take care of them, watering and fertilizing hard. Over time, the garden flourished and became a beautiful place. Inspired by this story, Lucas decided to apply the same principle in his studies. He began to create a daily routine, investing time to understand each story without press. This narrative not only releases his own soul, but also acts as a light that guides other chosen ones who are looking for their way. Just as each star in heaven, every word and experience we divide can serve as a guide, cultivating a sisterhood of awakened souls, walking together towards the same divine light. We are united, dear chosen, and when we share our stories, we build a legacy of transformation that goes beyond the barriers of time. May your words be like seeds, cultivating fields of hope and revelation in the hearts of those who need it most. Thus, the great spiritual journey continues, building a community of light and truth. Dear chosen, now this is no doubt, it is time to act with intention and firmness. The guidelines I come to share go beyond mere suggestions. These are essential foundations for the true transformation that only those chosen by God can obtain. Begin to include deep meditation in your daily life. Imagine it as an anchor that keeps your soul firm, even in the storms of life's difficulties. Through meditation, you access a space of inner tranquility, where you can see the soft voice of divine wisdom, similar to the experience of the prophet Elijah, who heard God in the sound of a gentle silence. Book a moment every day to surrender to silence and know that it is at this moment that the true revelation arises. Smoking and energy purification practices are fundamental to remove any weight that may be affecting you. Just as the temple in Jerusalem was sacred and clean, this space also needs to be. Use sacred herbs such as sage and incense, allowing your smoke to push your energies that do not do you good, remembering that only a clean and purified environment can receive new blessings. Self-control exercises and breathing techniques go far beyond simple indulgences. They are valuable tools to master both body and mind. Through them, each chosen can learn to control their own energy, remaining calm and focused on the turbulence of the world. Practice this as the psalmist asked, "Assoin, and know that I am God." Psalm 46:10. It is at this moment of calm that you can access your true power. Make no mistake, ignoring these guidelines is choosing to get stuck in a cycle of stagnation and disharmony. Negative patterns that hold many people can also imprison you unless we recognize what is happening now and enable the spiritual freedom that God has promised to you. You're chosen. Each action you choose to perform represents real progress toward a state of being higher, an act of courage on the surface of the waters towards the infinity. With courage and determination, put yourself in action. Do not put your hopes in a someday. Make your day of change today. Through each sacred act, you are creating your own cloak again, and the wisdom that only one chosen is able to develop. Today, we will build, through these practices, the foundations for a future that celebrates God's magnificent intention for your life. Go ahead, without excuses, with a heart full of faith and open arms, to welcome all the spiritual abundance that is coming. The moment is now. Get up, beloved chosen, and assume your place of right on the eternal journey of spirituality. Dear chosen, the time has come to act firmly and committed to the practices that connect us to the sacred and promote the transformation we aim for. Now I want to share with you some urgent and practical guidelines that you can start applying in your life immediately to break the stagnation cycle and move on your spiritual journey. To begin with, the practice of deep meditation must integrate solidly into its daily routine. Daily reserve a moment and a quiet place to connect with its essence, giving room for the voice from inside to become stronger. Imagine meditation as a divine light lighthouse, guiding you in the shadows of doubt and uncertainty. Now let's reflect on the relevance of energetic smoking and purifications. Just as the ancients used incense in their sacred rituals to clean the temple, you should also devote time to purify the environment around you. Use sage, myrrh, or incense to ward off negative energies and create a receptive space to the presence of the sacred in your home and in your life. In addition, develop self-control through specific exercises and breathing techniques. Just as Jesus reassured the storm with a single word, try to find serenity in your mind and in your heart, promoting peace even in the busiest situations. Have control over your reactions and emotions, realizing the strength that exists in you to bring harmony and balance. And don't think that time is on your side if you are still reluctant to adopt these practices. Choosing not to act is continuing to repeat patterns that keep you stagnant, away from the evolution you really deserve. By putting into practice each of these actions, you take an important step towards spiritual freedom. This attitude resonates in the universe and brings a true transformation to your life. Allow me to encourage you. The time to change is now. Every step you take builds the way to achieve a new state of balance and wisdom. Imagine yourself by adopting these practices, plunging intensely into each of them. With every step you take, with every breath you perform, and every moment of meditation you practice, you reaffirm your choice to fully experience the divine inheritance given to you. And finally, remember that every practice you implement and every effort you dedicate on this journey are recognized and celebrated. You are not alone. On this journey, you connect to a community of special people, all dedicated to the search for truth, light, and divine transformation. Get up now, full of trust and determination, for this is your moment. The light inside you is ready to shine in a way that the world has not yet known. Dear chosen of God, we are coming to the end of another chapter of our spiritual walk. Today, we follow the challenging and revealing journey of spiritual transformation through the intensity of awakening until we find the stability of a new balance. It is essential to keep in mind that this journey is not over here. It is a constant course of development, and each acquired learning acts as a divine preparation for the opportunities and challenges ahead. We thank you for being here and accompanying ourselves on this journey of discovery and lighting. His presence enriches our community of God's chosen here on the channel, the awakening of the chosen. Together, we are a brotherhood of spiritual warriors who seeks light and divine truth. Your courage and dedication are what really value this community, making it a space of exchange and support among all. Now I invite everyone who is opening their hearts here and sharing their feelings. If you read here, please leave a comment saying, "Gratitude." To demonstrate that you are following this path, allow God to value your trajectory as a true chosen. Your participation goes beyond a simple act. It is the fulfillment of your desire to be in tune with us. Let us then say a brief prayer. May God enlighten your ways and strengthen your soul, guiding you on the journey of truth and transformation. May He offer you the tranquility to face the challenges and wisdom necessary to take advantage of the blessings to come. Amen. Don't forget, this is just the beginning. Heavenly messages are waiting for you in our next videos. Every attitude of yours, whether watching our videos or commenting, strengthens our community and helps us identify and pray for each person chosen by God who is looking for divine truth. His presence here is perceived and valued, and together we evolve through this special connection. Congratulations on having managed to get to this point. You are a person chosen by God, and your trajectory is a source of inspiration for all of us. Stay strong and dedicated, aware that your spiritual journey brings light to the way of many other people with you. And so, I want to leave a special invitation to you. Remain by my side, because your transformation trajectory is a constant process. With each new video, you have a chance to reconnect with your divine essence and to further capture the signs the universe has to offer. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. See you soon, and may God be by your side on this beautiful journey of spiritual discovery.